folks, and welcome back to Around Our World in 80! Yay! So, we are sporting our Aggie gear today. Yay! Reagan doesn't have any yet. She hasn't grown into it.
She has a onesie.
It's too big for her still. It's meant for football season, so give it a couple months and we'll be good. But the reason we're sporting our Aggie gear today is because we watched Monsters University! So to do the history of Monsters University, we actually have to go back to 2005. So plans for a second Monsters Incorporated film existed since 2005. Following disagreements between Disney CEO Michael Eisner and Pixar CEO Steve Jobs, Disney, which owned the rights to make sequels to all of Pixar's films up to Cars, announced that a sequel to Monsters, Inc. would be made by Circle 7 Animation, which was also working on early drafts of Toy Story 3 and Finding Nemo 2. It was originally titled Monsters, Inc. 2: Lost in Scaradise. The film would have focused on Mike and Sully visiting the human world to give Boo a birthday present, only to find that she had moved. Disney's change of management in late 2005, in which Eisner was replaced by Bob Iger, led to renewed negotiations with Pixar, and in early 2006, Disney announced it had purchased the studio. The Disney-owned sequel rights were then transferred to Pixar, leading to the cancellation of the Murr and Hildenberg's version of the film and the subsequent closure of Circle 7.
We have a new light.
So funny. So a Pixar-made sequel was confirmed in 2010. The film was originally planned for release on November 16th, 2012, but the release was moved up to November 2nd, 2012 to avoid competition with the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2. Monsters University is the first Pixar film that used global illumination, a new lighting system introduced as a part of the overhaul of the rendering system used since Toy Story, the first Toy Story film. In planning of the film, director of photography Jean-Claude Kalashi? I don't want to say Kalachi because that's not it. Asked, what if we just made these lights work? Before the new system, artists had to build reflections and shadows manually, which became increasingly complex as the models and the setups became more technologically advanced. The new lighting system uses path tracing, a technique that imitates the behavior of light in the real world. This automates the process, delivered more realism, produced soft shadows, and let the artist spend more time on models and complex scenes, some of which contained thousands of light sources. For research, the filmmakers visited several colleges in the U.S., including Harvard University, Stanford University, and the University of Alabama, observing college architecture, student life, Greek organizations, and the teaching methods of professors and faculty. To research fraternity life, which is central to the film, many of the film's producers spent several weeks at a fraternity house.
It was actually kind of funny watching the behind-the-scenes stuff because they were talking about how designing the university campus went, and they're like, we were going to design this university campus, and then we all thought, we've never been to a university campus. We all went to art school. That was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
I've never been to a real college campus before. We have a new cast member.
It's Figment!
So what did you think of the movie this week?
I love this movie. In particular, the fact that it's not your typical movie where, like, oh, you did something wrong, but we're going to forgive you because you ended up saving everybody. It's like, no, you did something wrong and there's consequences to that, but
you can still work through hard or tough consequences. You can still work through consequences and come out right side up.
Yes, with hard work. And a little bit of humility. I also really do enjoy a lot of the college aspect of this movie. They do a really good job of portraying some of the funny aspects of it, like how many flyers you put on a flyer board, and they're just covered with staples and paper. What about you?
Or the slug that tries to make it to his first day of class and shows up. He finally gets there, and the semester just ended.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of kids like that in some of my classes. It's a great movie. It's one of those rare sequels that's just as good, if not better, than the first.
Although we've tended to say that a lot for some of these Disney sequels.
You know, like, that's the second time I've said it. Or third time, maybe.
Maybe. But Disney knows how to do sequels fairly well. At least maybe Pixar knows how to do sequels pretty well. Because we've said that about The Incredibles, we've said that about Finding Dory, and we've said it about Monsters.
You like Guardians of the Galaxy.
I did like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 better. So, this week we actually went on the road. We're actually going to be on the road for the next few episodes. And we actually went down to College Station to A&M, and we showed Reagan
Driving.
the ropes.
Roll down the window.
Roll down the window. What is Daddy doing?
Old school rolling down the window.
Old school.
Or new school. You will never know what it's like to have to roll a window down like this.
So we graduated Texas A&M in 2011. So there's been a lot of changes since we've been back to the
You're
campus.
telling people how old we are.
It's okay.
I was 14.
Right. You were a Sheldon of Texas A&M.
Yes.
Point is, a lot has changed since we've been down there. They've done a lot of new construction, completely redone the MSC, which is the Memorial Student Center.
Completely hangout spots.
Yeah, completely redone the football stadium, completely redone a lot of the buildings. They're actually about to tear down Jared's old dorm in the next few months, probably. We just thought it'd be fun to go down, see what's changed, see what hasn't, reminisce a little bit, and then we visited one of our favorite places to go eat.
We made it! We turned the record button on. So we're gonna do just a small loop of main campus and kind of reminisce about our old stomping grounds, or at least what's left of it, because there's so much new construction here. It's been 7 years since we've been graduated.
Almost.
Come December. And so we're gonna show Reagan the ropes.
Something like that.
They redid the entire Commons lobby. There's no more drive-through. You used to be able to drive up here and like load and unload. Wow, look at this. This is crazy. All these places to sit. That's insane. So we're checking out the new bikes. Apparently you download the app and then you scan the QR code to unlock the bike.
So you probably pay like $30 a month or something.
And through this door is where Maddie used to live. And this window is the window to where I used to live. Reagan, do you want to live where Mommy used to live? So if you stand in this little cove and you clap. Ooh. Dude, yeah.
What's that, Reagan?
Is that fun? She's so confused. We got some action happening in front of the architecture building. So it's always super cold in the chemistry building for certain reasons, so things don't explode. And so in between classes, I would come sit on this bench and Jared would come visit me.
So how's class going today?
You know, how does it feel weird to be sitting here after
With one of
6.5 years later with one of these?
A little bit. Yeah.
What do you think about all this, Ray Ray?
the other meeting spots, H2O fountain in front of the other side of the chemistry building.
So this Harrington Education Center, that's where I had actually one of my favorite classes, the History of Texas class.
Harrington is my building. The J.R. Thompson building, where all of the engineering technology classes, pretty much all of them, about 95% of them, took place. And this is the backside with all of the workshops and labs and all the machine shops and everything.
Alright, this is our academic building. Supposedly, the top is made of copper. And the reason why they haven't left it is because it would actually blind pilots coming into the airport.
It used to be a job of the junior corpsman to go up and actually polish the dome, but they had complaints and issues with aircraft coming in, and so they had to stop polishing it because it was literally blinding light that would come off of there because they had it so well polished. Enter the century tree. Maddie?
This is where Jared proposed, as any good Aggie would.
That's where a lot of Aggies propose.
Yeah, if you walk under here together, you will never
You're destined for marriage.
destined for marriage.
And if you walk under here by yourself, you're destined to be single forever.
Yeah, it is always so pretty out here.
So it's avoided very
Religiously.
religiously by the single people on campus
But
usually.
look how heavy these tree branches are. They have to put poles underneath.
It's an old tree. Apparently today is a good day for campus tours. All the incoming guppies. I mean freshmen. So here we have the Sullivan Ross statue. It is said that if you put a little offering at his feet, you will have good luck on a test. So during like midterms and final exams, the pennies and quarters and even dollars, as you can see there, are stacked rather high at his feet. And these are kind of sacred. You don't touch those. You don't take them off there. Even if you have like $100 there, you do not touch it because that's bad luck. Like really bad luck. Now pulling up to the A&M meat sales store, Rosenthal's, where they do actually all of their own meat processing through the animal sciences division.
Reagan, what are you doing? Are you being funny? Say yeah. Ray, what are you doing? Are you being funny? Yeah. So
So another point of interest, this building is the horticulture building. They actually have like flower arrangement classes and stuff like that in there. It's gorgeous in there. They always have some type of flower display. But that's where my winemaking class was. The science of winemaking. And that's one of the classes that I took senior year for biochemistry. Alright, so now we're at the Hullabaloo Diner. It's very famous. It's actually on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. It's just a few miles south of College Station in a little city called Welborn, which I think is still annexed to College Station, but I know that there was a movement to try to change that. Fun fact, this is Jared's ring dunk place. We came here and had dinner with the whole family and did his ring dunk in a whopping 26 seconds.
And then ate 2 ginormous pancakes. So some of you may be wondering what a ring dunk is. At A&M, it's a very big deal. When you hit 95 hours of credited time, you are classified as a senior in the following semester. You get to get your Aggie ring, which is your big shiny ring that I'm not wearing right now. It's a very significant moment in every Aggie's time, and tradition holds that when you get your ring, you're not allowed to wear it. Basically, like full time until you dunk it and earn it by drinking a pitcher of, and normally people use beer. Not a big beer drinker, so I did Gatorade. But the standard 1.5 liter or so size pitcher, however much they hold, it's a big thing to see who can kind of drink it down the fastest. And so we came here for my ring dunk when I got my ring that day. And of course tested the ring on to make sure it fit and everything, but then we got here, dropped in the bottom of the pitcher of Gatorade, and down the whole pitcher in 26 seconds.
Yep.
Right, so 1.5 liters, 2 liters of Gatorade, whatever it was. It was 2 of the big bottles of Gatorade is what it took.
Yeah.
So I guess close to 2 liters. And then went inside, and their pancakes are usually about 12 inches across, and they're about 1 inch thick, and they serve 2 of them at a time. And finished 2 of those pancakes right after doing the ring dunk as well.
You're crazy.
So I was in college.
I actually did my ring dunk at the house that I was staying at. We had, I think, 5 of us that got our rings at the same time. So we all did our ring dunk party together, and we went out in the backyard. I say backyard. I was the only one who threw up. I wasn't? Oh. Well, I ended up I think I was the only one who threw up.
You actually threw up?
Yeah. Everybody else wanted to throw up, but I actually threw up. I had to go behind the house and upchuck everything. It took me like 3 minutes, I think, to finish my ring dunk. And then I felt like crap and my stomach hated the Gatorade and I just threw it all up. But I was totally okay to eat cake and everything else after, and everybody else was like sick to their stomach. So Jared, what'd you get?
It's called the Roman.
Oh, what is it?
It's like 2 sausage links, bell peppers, onions, cheese, provolone cheese. And they give you like this marinara sauce to go with it.
Nice.
Really good.
I got very, very large BLT in the salad.
Reagan, what did you think of campus? Do you want to be an Aggie?
Gig 'em. You can't see that, but it is actual. She was doing it. You can go to any school you want, baby girl, but your college fund goes to A&M.
What did you think of campus?
I'm ready to go back.
You want to go back to college?
I've told you that for years, that I would go back and do it again if I could.
I do not want to go back to college.
It was hard.
I am
It was stressful, but I enjoyed most of my classes.
I miss having like all your friends really close, but I do not miss going to school. It was really, really awesome to see all the old places and
New places
and just hang out. So we had a good trip. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we will see you guys next week.
That's dinner.
That's dinner!